Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Cool Hand over here, and coming at you today to number one, welcome you to the channel. First video. Got bored, so decided, you know what, fuck it. Might as well tell some people about my life, And second, welcome to my first story time. So, first of all, not sponsored by Pillsbury Doughboy croissants. These shits are fire. If you know, you know. If not, you gotta get on this shit. It's fucking good. But anyway, so basically the story I have for you guys today is the time I had 3 different teachers in one day. Now, a lot of you people might be like, I have to switch. I have a different teacher for every subject. This, and this. I get you. That happened to me too. Once I got to middle school. But this one's in 5th grade. And in 5th grade, you didn't have different teachers for every subject, You had one teacher who'll teach you everything. Teach you math, science, English, all that. So this particular day, our teacher wasn't there. I can't remember why. I don't care why. All I know is that we had a sub. And so I walk into class, and I sit at my usual desk clump. It's like 3 people, 4 people for a desk clump. I swear, bro, my desk clump was the worst clump of the entire classroom. Like, we would always be noisy. We'd always be doing some fuck shit in the back. Always. And I don't know if my teacher either never noticed or just didn't give enough of a fuck to say anything. But basically, this one day, our teacher's not there, and I'm like, where the fuck's the teacher? Everybody's like, I don't know, I guess she ain't here today. Maybe we got a sub. I'm like, alright, cool. And I was always super excited whenever we had a sub, because in my mind, if I had a sub, it's like, alright, free day. We don't have to do shit. I can, just fuck around all day, not pay attention, anything like that. I'm like, alright, cool, that's fine. So, usually, when school starts, you'd have, morning announcements over the loudspeaker or whatever, all that. So by the time we finish morning announcements, our teacher still ain't here. Nobody's in the classroom. No teachers in the classroom. We're all like, what the hell's going on? And so then this little Asian lady walks in, and she's like, I swear, she was like the most stereotypical Asian you could ever possibly imagine. Like, she literally spoke the way, like, stereotypically Asian people would speak, like, how are you? Like, I'm not even trying to be racist or anything. That's legitimately how she spoke. So basically, I had this friend of mine who was in my desk clump, right? Dude, like, he just started to get mad whenever she started talking, because he wouldn't be able to understand, like, half the things she said, so he'd get mad, because he'd have to keep asking her to repeat what she'd say. So then we get to the time of day where we gotta learn math, right? And so we were learning about, like, decimals or something, or, like, division. I don't even remember. It was some shit about decimals or something. So then she starts, like, and this is where I knew shit got fucked up, because she started pulling some shit out of her ass trying to teach us this shit, but, like, in a way that, like, nobody, like, I swear, nobody but her would understand. I swear to you. Because we're all looking at each other as she's teaching. We're all like, what? What the fuck is she saying? Like, and it's not even because we couldn't understand what she was saying. It was what she was saying made no sense. It was like, put this here, and then this here, and then this here, and then you do this, and this, and this. And then we're like, huh? What? What the fuck are you doing? What's going on? So then my friend got angry, so he kept on raising his hand. He's like, yo, I don't understand. What are you saying? Like, can you please explain it a different way? I'm not getting the concept. And so it got to the point where he got so mad. This man got so mad that he raised his hand, and he's like, can I please teach this? Because it got to the point where, like, he just stopped listening to her, and he read in the book, like, what the problems were, and he figured it out on his own. Because, I mean, it wasn't really that hard, it was elementary school. You're not really going to find crazy hard math. He's like, he figured it out on his own, and he raised his hand to the teacher, and he's like, can I please teach this to the class, because you're not doing a really good job, and nobody's understanding. Those weren't his exact words, but, that's basically what he was trying to get across. So then, she got mad at him for saying this, and she's like, leave the class. Like, just get out if you don't like the way I'm teaching. Just leave. And he's like, okay, I'll leave right now. So this man grabs his backpack, puts it on his, like, he just slings it over his shoulder, and he starts walking towards the door to leave. And then once he gets to the door, like, he gets to the door and he's about to open the door, and she's like, where are you going? And he's like, I'm leaving. And she's like, no, you have to sit down right now. And he's like, okay, but can I teach this? And so she just kept on getting mad and mad and mad. And so then, like, after that whole scenario happened, we ended up having to, like, read something. We did, like, group reading, or, like, class reading, where we all pulled out the big-ass fucking reading book. I don't know if any of you guys, like, know what I'm talking about or even remember, but, like, you'd pull out this fat-ass fucking reading book that, you know, that you, like, turn to page, like, 400 this, and we're gonna read this story that teaches you about life lessons, or some shit like that. So, basically, we pull out this book, and me, given that, like, everybody knew I spoke Italian, right? Everybody's like, yo, volunteer to read, but do it in Italian. Yo, volunteer to read, do it in Italian. And I'm thinking, yeah, you know, why not? It's a substitute. I'm bored. We're all bored, and she's pissing us off a little bit. Might as well fuck with her a little bit. Why not? So I volunteer. I'm like, yo, can I read? And she's like, yeah, go ahead. So I start reading, but I start reading in Italian. So she gets so mad. She's like, what are you doing? Like, why do you think you're funny trying to fuck with me? This, and this. And it's like, whoa. Like, I wasn't expecting that reaction from somebody just because I'm reading in a different language trying to fuck with her or anything. I'm like, god damn, she's really getting mad. So then I read in English after that because, you know, I didn't need another fucking outburst from her. I didn't want to deal with that, right? So we just, you know, continued reading, did all that. And so then by the time she was done, we had to go to, it was either we had to go to recess or we had to go to an extracurricular class. So the extracurricular classes, the way they worked there was, there would be, and I don't remember how many there were. The only ones I can remember were like music, PE, and art. Those are the only three I can remember. I don't remember if there were some more, but basically it would be like each week you would have a specific elective, and each class would be having electives at different times. So, like, for example, my class, say we start the morning with, like, doing this, this, and this, and then we have to go to the elective, and then we'd go to whatever elective we had that week. That was basically how it was. So I think we either had to go to recess or an elective, and I'm pretty sure it was an elective. So we went to the elective and whatever, and then when our elective was finished, because normally it was like our teacher would walk us to the elective, and we'd all be in a single file, you know, all that elementary school bullshit. And then the way it would work is once the extracurricular was done, we'd all line up, and our teacher would come pick us up, and we'd all walk back to class in a line. This day, it was really weird, because when we got finished with the elective, we're lining up, getting ready to leave, expecting the little Asian woman to show up and walk us back to class, right? So then we're waiting there, and then this dude, like this, like, bigger dude, and I want to say big, I mean, he wasn't, like, freaking obese or fat, or, like, he had some weight onto him, let's just put it that way. He had some weight, and he had, like, you know, he had some scruff going, and we're like, this ain't the Asian woman. Like, this ain't our teacher. This ain't our sub-teacher, we'll put it that way. We're all looking at each other like, who is this man? What the hell's going on? So this man's like, hey, so your original substitute teacher left for whatever reason, so I am now your new substitute teacher. I'm like, all right. I guess we pissed her off so much that she just said, fuck it, I'm out. Which is pretty crazy because I've never seen that before, to the point where you piss a substitute teacher off to the point where they just want to fucking leave and just not even deal with you. Like, damn, that's insane. I've never seen that before. And, like, believe me, that class, we put some sub-teachers through a decent amount of shit, and they just stuck around. So I'm surprised that she just left after that, but whatever, you know. So then this dude takes us back to class, and we do some, like, science or whatever. And then it got to the point where we had to go to lunch. And so the way this one was, it was like we'd go to lunch, and then right after lunch, we went to recess. And I remember this now a little bit better now that I'm talking about it, but so we went to lunch, and then we had to go to recess. So we went to lunch, we had lunch, you know, normal lunch. And then on our way to recess, like, he picked us up from the cafeteria, and then we were going to recess. And so I have this other friend, right? and he was talking to this other guy in the class, right? They're just talking, and then I don't. He accidentally hit the guy he was talking to with his lunchbox back because he was like swinging it around. You know how elementary school kids, it's like hard for them to stand still. So this man, like he was just going like this and like talking to the guy next to him. You know, he's just swinging, and then I guess he accidentally hits him with it. And I mean, it wasn't like a full, like he didn't like fucking beat the shit out of him. He was like, it was like a light swinging accidental hit. You know, it was nothing. It was literally no big deal. And he's like, oh, sorry about that. And then the dude who he's like, don't worry about it, it's fine. And then the new sub who witnessed this happen, he got angry for some reason. Like, he got mad. Like, this man went fucking ballistic. Like, he fast walked up to them, like, angrily. And he grabbed my friend's lunchbox, and he literally, he's like, it's like he was trying to murder a puppy, man. Like, he grabbed the lunchbox, and this man was like, like, he slammed that shit on the ground so fucking hard. Like, oh my god, he annihilated that shit. And then after he did that, we're all like, we're all just, because he made it very clear, like, everybody in the entire class, like the entire line stopped, turned, and just looked at him. After he slammed that shit on the ground, he looked at my friend, like, dead in the eyes and yelled at him. He's like, you think that's funny, huh? You think it's funny to hit people with lunchboxes? Huh? What do you think of that? And we're all like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is this dude on? Like, what? How are you gonna get mad at an accident that wasn't even directed towards, like, you were in no part, like, you had no part in this entire situation. And then you just go up and do that. Like, what? So then we go to recess, and then my friend and the dude he was talking to were like, they were just talking to each other like, what the fuck is his problem? Like, what? You're a teacher and you're not supposed to fucking do that shit. Like, basically, so at recess, when it came to recess, they went to the principal's office. Like, they straight up just left. They went to the principal's office, and they went and they complained about it to him. They're like, yeah, he did this, and this happened. And they were like, the principal was like, oh, word? Like, that's so fucked up. So then after recess, we all get back into class. No teacher, nothing. No Asian woman, no dude, no our teacher. Nobody was there. And then the door opens and we all look. The principal walks in and we're like, well, we kind of knew what was going on because we all got word of it during recess that these two were going to go complain about it. So she shows up and we're like, all right, what's going on? And so she's like, hey, so we got word that this happened, and so then they came in to kind of clarify. They're all asking like, hey, so like, what did you guys see? You know, what are your guys' stories? So they kind of just like asked around. So then, you know, everybody gave their part, and it was basically all saying the same shit. You know, he kind of went ballistic, threw the kid's lunchbox on the floor like a maniac, like, you know, the shit that I said. And so she was like, yeah, a teacher shouldn't really do that, so that's kind of fucked up that he did that. So we're going to try to get you guys a new teacher in here, or a new sub or something. So then it was like, I barely remember this part because I think we ended up not having a teacher for a little bit, which is why I can't remember it, because I was probably dozing off or just not doing shit. So that's what I'm assuming happened, because it's been a while. I can't really remember. But basically, at the end of the day, and this was like end of the day, like maybe we had an hour left of school at most. We had like maybe an hour. This lady walks in as our new sub, and so we kind of just didn't do shit all day, and we just had a fucking crazy ass amount of like substitute teachers come in, you know. So then she just walks in and she's like, hey, I'm your substitute teacher for the rest of the day. You know, let's just get work done or whatever you gotta do, or, you know, some shit like that. But basically, she was the last sub we had that day, and that was that. So we ended up having like 3 different teachers that day. But yeah, I'm still at a loss for words at just that whole day. Like, that whole day was just so crazy. It was so like, how can a teacher do that? Like, where do you find them? Where are you finding these teachers that are leaving because because they're getting mad that we don't understand the math, or they're getting mad that somebody accidentally hit another kid with like come on, man, what the hell is this bullshit? Yeah, that was my story about 3 different teachers in a day. It was kind of retarded, but a little bit crazy. I got crazier stories though. It's all right. Yeah. All right. Well, keep it real, y'all. Be safe. Catch you next time with a new story.